The Central Investigation Bureau (CIB) of Nepal Police in recent time has been looking after two cases of immense public interest. In the infamous Lalita Niwas land scam, the Bureau is preparing to take statements from former Prime Ministers while it is coordinating with the Mint Department to ascertain the actual weight and the quality of the large tranche of recently confiscated gold. All eyes are on what these two probes would culminate into and if the Nepal police entity will be able to reach to the roots of it all. Good evening, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Weight of the gold confiscated from the capital Sinamangal 28 days ago measured at 60.716 kilograms. Testing of quality of the gold next. Government gears up to include 5.7 million self-employed and those employed in the informal sector in Social Security Program. An official program to kick off the campaign slated for tomorrow. India celebrates 77th Independence Day. Indian Premier Narendra Modi commits of transforming the country into a developed nation by 2047. And Spain enters into the finals of the Women's World Cup, defeating Sweden 2-1. Second semi-final between Australia and England scheduled for tomorrow. Weight of the gold confiscated from Sinamangal during its way out from the Tribhuvan International Airport 28 days ago has been measured at 60.716 kilograms. According to the Mint Division of the Nepal Rashtra Bank in Babar Mahal, the gold separated from the brake shoe measured at 60.716 kilograms. Prior to this, the preliminary weight of gold separated from brake shoe had measured at 60.986 kilograms. The results of +2 have been published. We will now take you to the live press meet currently underway at Exam Board in Sanotimi.
सम्पन्न भएको 80 दिनका दिन नतिजा प्रकाशन गरेका छौं र यसमा चाहिँ खास गरी यो आजको नतिजा प्रकाशन भएकोमा गत वर्ष विशेष गरी यसमा सम्मिलित परीक्षार्थीहरू नियमित तर्फ 3,72,637, आंशिक तर्फ 60,959 र ग्रेड वृद्धि तर्फ 14,135 र अर्को आंशिक 2072-73 को पुरानो आंशिक तर्फ 1,106 गरी 4,48,837 विद्यार्थीहरू सम्मिलित थिए। त्यस्तै त्यस बाहेक चाहिँ अब यो परीक्षा रद्द गरिएका यसैमा पनि परीक्षा रद्द गरिएका विद्यार्थी 51, जम्मा चाहिँ कुल 56 जना र स्थगित भएको छैन र वास्तवमा उत्तीर्ण सबै ग्रेड परीक्षार्थीहरू 1,90,711 चाहिँ नियमित तर्फ छन् र त्यसपछि आंशिक तर्फ 18,030 र ग्रेड वृद्धि तर्फ 6,140 र आंशिक तर्फ 650 गरी अहिले चाहिँ हामीले खास गरी प्रतिशतको हिसाबले त हामीले गर्दैनौं, ग्रेड वृद्धि तर्फ हो, तर पनि नन ग्रेड यसपटक गत वर्षदेखि हामीले जुन हिसाबले नयाँ जुन लेटर ग्रेडिङ निर्देशिका अनुसार 35% भन्दा कम अंक ल्याउने विद्यार्थीहरूलाई नन ग्रेड अर्थ नन ग्रेड भनेको हामीले चाहिँ पहिला असफल भन्थ्यौं, अहिले नन ग्रेड भन्छौं। नन ग्रेड हुने र त्यसभन्दा माथि ग्रेड ल्याउनेहरूलाई ग्रेडेड भनेर पास भएको मानेर हामीले चाहिँ भन्छौं र त्यस अर्थमा अहिलेको चाहिँ हामीले उत्तीर्ण प्रतिशतको हिसाबले गत वर्ष हामीले जुन प्रतिशत थियो अहिले चाहिँ केही प्रतिशत 3% चाहिँ बढेको छ। त्यसैले अहिले 50.91 भनेपछि 51% नतिजा चाहिँ आएको छ र यसमा चाहिँ 51% नतिजा चाहिँ आएको चाहिँ छ। यो चाहिँ जुन किसिमको उत्तीर्ण प्रतिशत त्यसो भएर पनि विगत वर्ष भन्दा यो वर्ष केही हामीले इम्प्रुभ भएको चाहिँ अथवा राम्रो भएको चाहिँ मानेका छौं। यसमध्ये टोटल चाहिँ के छ भने अहिले 79 र 80 को कुरा पनि हामीले हेर्यौं भने 2079 मा चाहिँ जुन हिसाबले विद्यार्थीहरूको जुन प्रतिशत थियो त्यो प्रतिशत चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ 49.09 थियो भने अहिले चाहिँ 51.91 भनिसकेपछि यो अलिकति बढ्यो र अहिले चाहिँ खास गरी नन गभर्नमेन्ट के रे एनजी हुनेहरू 79 मा चाहिँ 51.90% थियो र अहिले चाहिँ 49.09% छ। अलिकति चाहिँ रिभर्स जस्तो गत वर्ष चाहिँ जुन किसिमको थियो अहिले चाहिँ बढेको चाहिँ अवस्था छ र यसपटक जीपीए चाहिँ 3.612 4 हुने अथवा माथिल्लो ग्रेड प्राप्त गर्ने विद्यार्थीहरूको संख्या प्रतिशत चाहिँ बढेको छ, विद्यार्थीको संख्या पनि बढेको छ र लोअर ग्रेड चाहिँ प्राप्त हुने विद्यार्थीको संख्या घटेको छ। त्यस हिसाबबाट हामीले अलिकति गत वर्षभन्दा यो वर्ष नतिजा राम्रो भएको पनि अघि मैले भने र विशेष गरी हामीले यो नतिजा प्रकाशन गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि प्रश्नपत्र निर्माणको कुराहरूदेखि लिएर हामीले जुन हिसाबले नयाँ पाठ्यक्रमले इन्भिजन गरेको विशेष गरी नलेज, अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ, एप्लिकेसन र हायर एबिलिटी विशेष गरी ज्ञान पक्ष, त्यसपछि चाहिँ जुन बोध पक्ष र प्रयोग पक्ष र उच्च क्षमता, यो हिसाबबाट प्रश्नपत्रको जुन मोडालिटीमा पनि केही परिवर्तन भएको थियो र विद्यार्थीहरूले नयाँ हिसाबबाट उच्च क्षमता भएका प्रश्नहरू पनि नाप्न सक्ने प्रश्नहरू पनि सोधिएको हो र त्यसपछि चाहिँ उत्तर परीक्षण गरिसके परीक्षा सञ्चालनपछि उत्तर पुस्तिका परीक्षण गर्ने सन्दर्भमा हामीले चाहिँ मार्किङ स्किम विशेष गरी यो विद्यार्थीहरूको उत्तर पुस्तिका परीक्षणमा भेरिएसन नआओस्, विभिन्न परीक्षकहरूले पनि उत्तर पुस्तिका परीक्षण गर्दाखेरि एउटै किसिमको अङ्क आओस्, त्यो भेरिएसन नहोस् भनेर पनि मार्किङ स्किमको प्रयोग पनि एकदमै राम्रोसँग गरेका थियौँ। त्यस हिसाबले पनि केही हिसाबले चाहिँ यो अलिकति नतिजामा केही इम्प्रुभ भएको कुरा, यी सबै कुराले चाहिँ हुनसक्छ भन्ने चाहिँ हाम्रो अनुमान छ र यो बाहेक चाहिँ समग्रमा चाहिँ हामीले आजको यो जुन नतिजा प्रकाशन गर्ने बेलासम्म जसले यो परीक्षा सञ्चालनदेखि नतिजा प्रकाशनसम्म गर्नेसम्मको लागि सबै जिल्लामा चाहिँ परीक्षा केन्द्रहरू, शिक्षकहरू, अभिभावकहरू, स्थानीय तह र जिल्ला परीक्षा समन्वय समिति र त्यसपछि प्रदेश र केन्द्रमा पनि सबै जुन हिसाबले परीक्षा राष्ट्रिय परीक्षा बोर्ड लगायत चाहिँ यहाँका अब सम्पूर्ण कर्मचारी साथीहरू, परीक्षा नियन्त्रण कार्यालयका साथीहरू र सबैले चाहिँ जुन किसिमको चाहिँ सहयोग पुर्याउनु भएको छ, यसको लागि म राष्ट्रिय परीक्षा बोर्डको तर्फबाट एकदमै हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र मिडियाका साथीहरूले विभिन्न बेला विभिन्न समयमा पुर्याउनु भएको सहयोगको लागि पनि मिडियाप्रति पनि म हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र अब यो ओभरअल कुराहरू हो र हामीले यसलाई मुख्य कुरो के हो त भने यो नतिजा प्रकाशन हुने बेलामा विशेष चासोको कुराहरू आउँछ, तर हामीले चाहिँ मुख्य के देखिन्छ भन्दाखेरि कक्षा कोठामा जबसम्म हामीले विद्यार्थीको शिक्षण सिकाइलाई प्रभावकारी बनाउन सक्दैनौँ तबसम्म हामीले नतिजालाई चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो भयो भएन भन्ने किसिमको कुराहरूलाई हामी त्यति त्यसले चाहिँ प्रभाव पार्दैन। त्यसैले यसले चाहिँ के देखाउँछ भने अझै पनि हामीले कक्षा कोठाभित्र विद्यार्थीको जुन शिक्षण सिकाइ छ, शिक्षण सिकाइलाई प्रभावकारी बनाउनको लागि सबै सरकारवालाहरू, विद्यालय तहदेखि त्यसको चाहिँ मतलब सहयोग गर्ने चाहिँ निकायहरू हैन, प्रशासनिक निकायहरू र समग्र नीतिगत सन्दर्भमा समेत हामी चाहिँ यी सम्पूर्ण कुराहरूको एनालाइसिस गरेर पनि आगामी दिनको चाहिँ यो नतिजालाई सुधार गर्नको लागि विशेष गरी कक्षा कोठालाई शिक्षण सिकाइलाई कसरी सुधार गर्न सकिन्छ भन्नेतर्फ सम्बन्धित निकायहरू, किनभने राष्ट्रिय परीक्षा बोर्ड भनेको यो परीक्षाको नतिजा परीक्षा लिएर नतिजा प्रकाशन गर्ने निकाय अहिले र यसको एनालाइसिस गरेर पनि यहाँनिर चाहिँ कमजोरी छ भनेर चाहिँ सुझाव दिने निकाय हो। त्यो बाहेक चाहिँ अरू निकायहरू विशेष गरी त्यहाँ पाठ्यक्रमको कुराहरू छ कि अथवा शिक्षण सिकाइको कुरा क्लासरुममा केही छ कि यी भन्ने विषयका कुराहरू सबैको संयुक्त चाहिँ प्रयासबाट सुधार गर्दै जाने हो र यो सुधार गर्दै जानको लागि पनि म सबै सरकारवालाहरू, सबै निकायहरूलाई यो म हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु र यति कुराहरू चाहिँ भनेर अरू टेक्निकल विषयहरूमा कतिपय कुराहरू यहाँहरूका केही जिज्ञासाहरू होलान्, ती सम्पूर्ण कुराहरूलाई पनि सम्बोधन गर्ने गरी म राष्ट्रिय परीक्षा बोर्डका सदस्य सचिवज्यूलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु र यहाँ चाहिँ परीक्षा नियन्त्रकज्यू पनि हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँहरूसँग केही कुराहरू मैले पनि केही भन्नुपर्ने कुराहरू भयो भने म पनि भन्छु र अब यसपछिको अरू टेक्निकल डिटेल केही विषयहरूलाई भन्नको लागि म राष्ट्रिय परीक्षा बोर्डका सदस्य सचिव दुर्गा अर्यालज्यूलाई म अनुरोध गर्दछु।
The result for Plus 2 has been published. The National Examination Board has published the result of 372,637 students, based on which 6,976 students have achieved a GPA between 3.61 to 4.0. 38,999 have achieved a GPA between 3.21 to 3.60. 69,174 have achieved a GPA between 2.81 to 3.20. More updates and the result to follow. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal is embarking on a state visit to the US on the 16th of September as he is scheduled to attend the United Nations General Assembly slated to begin from the 19th. Between 19 to 20th September, Premier Dahal is to attend the sessions on behalf of the chair of the least developed countries. Based on the schedule published by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Premier Dahal is scheduled to address the UN General Assembly on 21st of September. Following his address, the Premier is scheduled to fly to China to attend several programs in Beijing and return home on the 25th. The government has geared up to include 5.8 million workers who are self-employed and are working in the informal sector in its Social Security Fund. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal will begin the process by holding an official program tomorrow. A new working procedure will be formulated for the same. Workers who want to be included in the program must contribute 20.37% of their basic salary, which is 1,912 rupees on a monthly basis. Likewise, those who are self-employed have to contribute 2,909 rupees every month. Workers who will be included in the government Social Security Fund will have access to services including medical treatment, health and maternity protection scheme, accident and disability protection scheme, dependent daily protection scheme and pension scheme. Those who want to be listed in the program must furnish recommendation from their local level. Around 710,000 workers of more than 18,000 companies have been included in the program so far. Those employed in the formal sector have been included in the Social Security Fund since the Nepalese year 2076 BS. The Ministry of Education has directed the Council for Technical Education and Vocational Training CTEVT to hold entrance examination of the certificate level of health education only after allocation of the seats by the Medical Education Commission. Disputes has intensified between the CTEVT and the Medical Education Commission regarding the admission process and seat allocation for certificate level programs of nursing, basic medicine, pharmacy, lab and dental among others. After both entities remained firm in their respective stances, the Ministry of Education has directed to proceed only after the allocation of seats by the Commission. Of the 200 educational institutions teaching health education, 169 are yet to meet the requirements, which has delayed the renewal and seat allocation procedures. The ministry has also directed the CTEVT to correspond with the Commission for the allocation of seats for the institutions approved for affiliation by the ministry. The admission process of 20,000 students who had applied to study health education is to be further delayed because of the dispute between the two entities. Meanwhile, entrance examination and admission processes of engineering, agriculture and hotel management under technical education are to be held on the specified dates. Foreign employment, previously centered in the Gulf countries and Malaysia, is slowly shifting towards European nations. A total of 39,000 youths have left for Europe after receiving their work permit in the past 1 year alone. However, in absence of labour agreement of the government with the European nations, Nepali workers have been denied basic services and facilities. According to the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, more than 13,000 Nepali workers have left for Romania in the last year alone. Around 7,000 workers have received their permit for Croatia, 5,600 for Malta and 5,000 for Poland. A total of 39,000 Nepali migrant workers have reached European nations after receiving their permits from the government in the past year alone. As most Nepali workers are increasingly getting attracted towards Romania, Portugal, Poland and Malta, experts have called for reaching a labour agreement with these nations to ensure the basic services and facilities for them. Meanwhile, with the increase in the number of Nepali workers leaving for new European destinations, cases of fraud have also increased. A total of 3,356 complaints have been filed at the Department of Foreign Employment in the past year, which is twice more than the previous fiscal year. Experts have said that reaching labor agreement with these nations will help in curbing the cases of fraud and holding accountable the entities sending the workers to those countries. The government has reached a labor agreement with only 10 destination countries so far, while such an agreement is yet to be reached with 110 other countries where Nepali nationals are employed. Officials of the Ministry of Labour has said that efforts are being made to reach a labor agreement with the countries preferred by Nepali workers for employment. Nepali nationals residing abroad are compelled to visit Nepal to register birth and death. However, the mandatory requirement to register abroad birth and deaths in Nepal is now to be erased. The government has begun homeworks to register the birth and death of Nepali nationals held abroad through the diplomatic missions located in those countries. Preparations are underway to formulate laws for registration of deaths abroad during foreign employment or birth of babies through Nepali diplomatic missions. Based on the existing arrangements, birth, death, marriage, divorce or migration, among other events, are required to be registered at the ward offices of the individual's permanent address or the location of the event. The Department of National Identity and Civil Registration under the Ministry of Home Affairs is holding consultations with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs regarding issue of certificates of birth and death through the diplomatic missions located abroad. Registration process is to begin in the first phase from 15 countries with high population of Nepalese, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, South Korea, Thailand, China, the United States of America and the United Kingdom. Two candidates for the post of the Vice Chairperson of Nepalganj Chamber of Commerce and Industry have been dragged into legal controversies. A writ has been filed against Chiranjeevi Oli and Mohammad Safiq Behena, citing their candidacy was filed against the statute and alleging of incompetency. The Tulsipur High Court has summoned both the candidates along with all the documents tomorrow after another candidate for the post, Dipendra Kumar Joshi, filed a writ against them. The election of Nepalganj Chamber of Commerce and Industry is scheduled for Saturday. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What's your take on the reluctance on behalf of health workers to go to the assigned places? Your options are A, unethical behavior, B, lack of opportunity, and C, feeble punishment. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. India marked its 77th Independence Day today amid a backdrop of sectarian clashes in northeastern state of Manipur, where at least 180 people have been killed and tens of thousands forced from their homes since May. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended a ceremonial parade at New Delhi's Red Fort, where he inspected a guard of honor and hoisted an Indian flag. In an address later on, he said peace was returning to Manipur, adding that state and federal authorities were working together to resolve the conflict. Manipur's Chief Minister N. Biren Singh presided over a similar ceremony in state capital Imphal and called for peace and normalcy in the state. Modi also called for uprooting the evils of corruption and dynasty politics to safeguard the nation's economic development in a thinly veiled jab at the opposition. Besides corruption and dynasty politics, during his 90-minute address, Modi vowed to root out a third evil, which he said was appeasement of certain communities by previous governments that had left a blot on the national character, and added that the need of the hour was to fight these three ills so that when the country celebrates 100 years of independence in year 2047, it will do as a developed country. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Weight of the gold confiscated from the capital Sinamangal 28 days ago measured at 60.716 kilograms. Testing of quality of the gold next. Government gears up to include 5.7 million self-employed and those employed in the informal sector in Social Security Program. an official program to kick off the campaign slated for tomorrow. India celebrates 77th Independence Day. Indian Premier Narendra Modi commits of transforming the country into a developed nation by 2047. And Spain enters into the finals of the Women's World Cup, defeating Sweden 2-1. Second semi-final between Australia and England scheduled for tomorrow. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.